Viera and the Sun. Viera is a prototype for the Neolithic dolmens found on the Iberian Peninsula, with its typical lintel structure and the orientation in relation with the sunrise on the spring and autumn equinoxes. Although the first part of its passage has been lost, reconstructions have shown that the first rays of dawn sunlight on the equinoxes enter little by little as far as the threshold of the funeral chamber before withdrawing, leaving the chamber itself in semi-darkness. This shows how the sunlight is considered an architectural feature that symbolises the meeting place between the sunlit world of the living in the corridor and the darkened world of the ancestors in the chamber. This means that the communities that built these constructions observed how the sunrise moved along the horizon throughout the year, and identified that the furthest positions corresponded to the shortest and longest days of the year, the summer and winter solstices, and that the middle position occurred twice in the same cycle, at the spring and autumn equinoxes. With this in mind, they built the dolmen so that its axis would be aligned with the dawn on the autumn equinox to mark the change of the seasons, and to time their cycles of sowing and harvesting. The Viera dolmen cannot therefore be understood simply as a place of burial, but also as a practical guide and a calendar for these farming communities that settled in the fertile plains of Antequera more than 5,000 years ago. This dolmen was only discovered in 1903 by two workers of Antequera Council, José and Antonio Viera, who initially named it Cueva Chica, the small cave, in comparison to the big cave of Cueva de Minga. They only found a few remains of graves because the tomb had already been ransacked, but their discovery was a wake-up call for the scientific community in Europe. It was the archaeologist Manuel Gómez Moreno who would eventually change the name to honour these two brothers. The Viera dolmen also raises questions yet to be answered, such as the formal configuration of the lost first section of its corridor, the presence of steles decorated with engravings and red paintings on a white background, and the elevation of the highest point of its artificial mound, which is exactly the same as the natural outcrop in front of it, the Cerro de Marimacho, which has evidence of settlement from this same period. Its exceptional universal value resides precisely in how the orientation of the dolmen toward the dawn sunrise reveals a cosmic vision with its seasonal markers, and its symbolism represents the relationship between the worlds of the living and their ancestors. There is a continuity between the prehistoric necropolis and burials in the modern world, because the symbolic value of this place still speaks to us in some way.